I had already sworn that I will not make any other video or a tweet about M5V6 because they are not worth my time and my time is very valuable. But then they went ahead and gave 3 replies to my tweet. Also, they have this guy on TikTok that needs proper education because he's very curious, and that is why I'm going to create this very last video. Take this for the hard fact. M5V6 is just trying to tokenize a Ponzi scheme. That is the only thing they are doing. Now, they have 3 products. Let's start with the FlexFS. Now, FlexFS is their initiative to have a forex crowdfunding platform. When you hear about crowdfunding in forex, it simply means that you are going to put your money and resources together for someone to trade for you. And that is the same thing with CBEX. That is the same thing with MBA Forex. That is the same thing with every forex company that came and crashed. Because when you put that money together, it is a central system. Who is going to trade it for you? And they are not trading it in M5V6 native token. So it's going to be traded in USDT. So it doesn't create any value for M5V6 in the first place. And it begs the question that who is going to be in charge of that funds? Are you giving it to a hedge fund, or you are going to register a company with the Security Affairs Commission or Security Exchange Commission SEC that you are going to start trading for people and giving them returns? Now, if you are able to do that successfully, that means that you've created a central system. The money is in your hand. That is not decentralized at all. You only successfully created a company for yourself to manage people's money. That is one. Then the second thing is, if you are not going to register a company with SEC, then how do you want to empower that investment with your token? Because your token is useless in this point. That is a very big question for them to answer. Then moving on to number 2, we have their Chestify or Chestify. There's a lot of branding error and typographical error when it comes to this, but I'm going to let it slide. So this is a platform where you gamble. That's basically what it is. It is a gambling platform. Now, the reason why the token is not necessary or is not so valuable at this moment on the platform is that there are no people online to play. I went there myself and I wanted to play, and I made moves and nobody is making any move back. I waited and waited and waited, and I had to quit it. So this is the only thing that can make that work. If they had created a system, for example, a gambling company like SportyBet or BetNaija that have hundreds of thousands of customers, and they want to tokenize their service that, okay, we do not want to accept Naira anymore. You can only use our crypto native token to trade or bet on our platform. That would have made a lot of sense. But this is a platform that doesn't have any user. There's no user at all. So that cannot create a value for the token. And that cannot give a utility to the token in return, because they need to have a lot of people to adopt the token to keep the value up. Now they have to keep trading that token, buying it, making bets, buying it, making bets, making withdrawals and others. That will give utility to the token and more usage. But now that there are no people there to use that token, the token is going to crash first. So this is my only advice when it comes to the Chesify. They need to make proper advertisement to even get it up and running, to attract real chess players in hundreds of thousands before they can even introduce a native token to it. If not, nothing is going to hold the value of the token. Moving on to the last one, above real estate. That is one of the most dumb ideas so far. Now, there's a way you can tokenize real world assets. That is actually a niche in cryptocurrency right now. RWA, real world asset. But what they are suggesting, it's not a real world asset. They are still suggesting a Ponzi scheme, a centralized system, because those assets and properties are not going to tokenize, but you put your money together on their platform and they use it to buy the asset. Now, how are they buying the asset? In whose name is the asset? Before you are owning a digital version of it. So you pull up real money together, let's say $100,000, $50,000, and then they crowdfunded a property and buy a property. Who is going to buy that property? In whose name will the certificate of that property be? Now, if it's going to be real world asset, then there's going to be like decentralized ownership of that property, which is going to be real, but that is still far away from now. That is not a technology for the next 2-3 years. So they are building what is not even feasible to use right now, and then they are building a token all because of that. That doesn't really make sense. The only way they can go about this right now is to make it a central system. And if they make it a central system, that is also a Ponzi scheme again, because they have to buy those property in their company's name while you drop the money, and then they have to keep renting it out and then giving you returns. And there's no way there's no 100% transparent way that all of you can monitor how that goes down together. So I am very sure that these guys don't really know what they are doing. They are just scheming up some Ponzi scheme here. They are all Ponzi and centralized system, and crypto should be decentralized. So everything they are cooking is just in a central system. Like, you created something decentralized and cage it into a central system. That does not really make any sense. So it's either they go back to the drawing board and have a rethink. If not, these guys are just out to scam you people, and they made it clear by slapping a price of $1 to a token that's not yet listed. And they also made it a criteria for you to qualify for their TGE. You must have that token, you must have bought some of it, a token that has no value. They are selling it for $1. That shows that these guys are just scammers already. Okay, they don't have any good intentions. If they are naive, then the first thing they need to do is review their identity, because on their YouTube platform there's a black guy there talking, but all over their other investments or other platform like the Chessify, the Above Estate, and the FX, the Flex FX, they are all claiming to be from United States of America. Now I don't even want to talk about those dummy content or dummy comments about their Above Estate and their $42 million investment that they said they've had already. That's just funny. You guys can just put more effort into the template and just edit it in a reasonable way. To be honest, you guys are just making a mess right now. But if you need proper education in the space, first is review your identity. Let us know who you are. Once you review your identity, then probably some people can help you guys and educate you on how you can restructure this to make sense. All what you are scheming together right now is just Ponzi, and it's not crypto. It is not decentralized. So you guys should take your time and watch this video, digest the message, and have a rethink. With that being said,